What is going on, guys? Noah Brewer here, back again with another video. And today we're taking it easy, just going to relax and have a conversation about the ups and downs of the e-commerce business. Back in my beautiful hometown, it's nice and quiet and we're out in the woods, so just reflecting on business and whatnot over the last couple of years. So if you've seen my Discord, then you know that I'm very, very transparent about what happens with my brands. I've documented 2 of them, and I'm about to begin documenting my 3rd brand. And a lot of personal brands and leaders in the space also document their brands, but they do it in a way to where you only really see the wins. And I completely understand, from their perspective. And honestly, I used to be like this as well. Like if you scroll to my YouTube channel, you can see that 7 years ago, all I did was win. It was just nothing but winning nonstop. And being out there, on the internet and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. And it's very, very easy to get lost in the reality of, growing a business. And I always say growing a business, but in reality, it's life, right? Like in life, it's never always going to be up and to the right. And especially in business, I feel like in business, you kind of force yourself into situations where things are up and down, and you can force yourself into some really gnarly situations. Whereas life, things kind of just happen unexpectedly. Whereas business, you're putting yourself out there, you're making yourself vulnerable to have really, really good times. But with really, really good times, always comes really, really bad times. Like it's kind of a price to pay. So how does this relate to e-commerce and really any business in general? Is that I was just talking with my buddy last night, my buddy Nick here in Connecticut, one of my hometown homies, and we were talking about how, going backwards or feeling like you're progressing backwards, like you're taking a step back, whether, your business revenue drops or maybe you're shutting down a business and moving to another one, or, in my most recent scenario, I actually sold my business. So, I'm kind of rebuilding and kind of rebuilding from the ground up. And even though selling a business can seem like a huge win on the outside, in reality, it's a very lonely experience. And it's very hard to have something, like a business that you've been working on for a long time, producing a lot of income and losing that. And sure, you get paid a lot of money. Like we got 3 years of profits up front, but I also just lost all of that income and basically have to rebuild from scratch. And I am already working on another brand. But whatever, back to the topic of this video, the ups and downs of e-commerce specifically have been some of the most brutal things I've ever experienced in business, because I've owned multiple businesses at this point. It's a total of 5 businesses that I've scaled past $1 million a year. So I'm on my 5th one now. And the first 2 businesses, one of them was a consulting and an agency for e-commerce stores. And the second one was a creative agency for e-commerce stores, which was viral e-com ads. And those businesses were amazing. Like most of the profit margins were very strong. The businesses were very consistent. So the cash flow was amazing. And there wasn't really many ups and downs opposed from like having a good year and a bad year, or like going through these dry spells. It was mostly just up and to the right for a long time with those companies. But in 2022 and 2023, that's when I decided to go all in on e-commerce and actually own the brands myself, as opposed to just working as an agency or a consultant on like a specialized topic such as ads or Facebook ads. And yeah, it's been a really, really rough journey. So yeah, if you follow my Discord or see my YouTube, you would know that on my e-commerce journey, the past 3.5 years, I've been able to make millions of dollars in profit. And it's been going extremely well. And I'm on my 3rd e-commerce brand now that I actually own and am running. But it doesn't go without its actual, ups and downs, because I've had stores that, will go from literally $0 to $20,000 a day. And then you just feel on top of the world. You feel like unstoppable, like anything can happen. You're just on a rocket ship straight to the moon. And then whatever happens, like your ads lose optimization or they lose ROAS, or, there were certain cases where we had run out of inventory and we had to like very limit our scale, which wasn't very fun. So yeah, it's if you look at the e-commerce journey, it's just been a big up and down thing. But I think the thing that matters is over time, the downs look a lot better. And the ups also look a lot better. Like we're able to push better numbers with better margins, with better products, better economics. So even though there's been lots of ups and lots of downs, it's always about, small progression and just making small improvements, making sure that, if you are going to have a really mega scale window and push big numbers, that you're going to take a lesson from that, and you're going to take that lesson, you're going to implement it next time, so that whether it's like the fall from a high scale revenue number, it doesn't hurt as bad, or maybe you can maintain it a little bit longer, or maybe your next business has subscriptions so that it actually pays off in the long term, as opposed to, just having a scale window with like a one-time physical product, where once it scales down, you lose it all. So I hope I'm really not boring you with my story here. I just want to, be transparent and honest. And again, if you're in my Discord and you watch my live brand buildings, you can see what goes through my mind, when we go from, $1,000 a day to $20,000 a day back to $1,000 a day, and like how damaging that feels. And it feels like you fucked everything up and you're never going to recover. And like, it's just really, really difficult. But it's one of the beautiful things about business and life. And it has definitely prepared me for life, having these ups and downs in the e-commerce game. And yeah, nobody's a stranger to ups and downs, especially if you're in the e-commerce business. Like I said, my agency is a little bit different of a model. But especially, with paid ads and whatever, it's harder to find that consistency, which, obviously I'm still working on. There are plenty of e-commerce businesses that just print all year round. But if you're out there and, you've had your ups and downs, just know that you're not alone. And that's why I wanted to come on here and talk about it and share my story and my reality. And if you do want to talk about it and learn about, what people like me who are actually running brands and running into these situations where I've scaled from 0 to 20, back down to 0, back up to 20, probably 5 or 6 times now across the 3 different brands that I've been running. And, I'm getting pretty good at managing it, but, I would love to learn how to just maintain that level of scale. And it probably has something to do with, the quality of the product or the subscriptions, retention, getting better at making ads. Like, these are all things that I work every single day to improve on. And yeah, if you are in a situation where you're kind of in the shit, that's like what we call it. Like, if you just had a mega scale window or like a really, really good season of your life, it's usually followed with getting, especially in business, it's usually followed with getting the shit kicked out of you, whether it's financially, mentally, or, losing your revenue or like losing employees or whatever. Like, it's always up and down, and that's just business. And yeah, if you want to be a part of a community of people that are going through that and overcoming it and actually coming out on the other side, doing really, really well, then join the Discord, and I'm happy to talk to you there. You can read the documentation of the brand that I built, and we actually had 2 really, really good scale windows. And even though we had to scale down after each one, we were still able to successfully exit the brand at a really strong multiple, and it sold really quickly, and it was super smooth. So yeah, join the Discord. You can read about all the brands that I've built and, kind of what went through my mind during the ups and downs. Very transparent about, profit margins. I have a screenshot of every single month, what the profits were. And you can see the ups and downs and kind of the inner workings and the realities of what it looks like to operate a multi 7-figure a year brand that successfully exited. Yeah, I hope that you enjoy this conversation. Again, I'm like traveling right now, so I didn't have a whole video planned out. I just figured I would rant on this topic because I knew I wanted to. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. This is Noah Brewer, and I'm out. Peace.